Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Instead of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers for the brand new angelic event, which is going on right now. So this is really going to help you out in contests. This is really going to help you out in just grinding trophies on ladder. And to be honest, this event, there's like a couple of power-ups that are just completely and utterly broken. So we'll be going through those. So just quickly, this is the first video that I've basically recorded in 2 weeks, because if you guys don't know, I got married recently. I went on a honeymoon. It's been a lot going on. I've missed out on a lot of content, so I'm going to be going back to streaming on Monday and ramping up the second channel videos as well. So just quickly, a big thank you for you guys for all the congratulations, all the well wishes. I honestly really appreciate that, but don't want to bore you too much with real life. We'll be going more into depth on the second channel and stream onto that. So let's start off with the best brawlers for this event then. So to begin with, the best brawler by far, or actually there's a couple of contenders as well, but one of the most broken brawlers absolutely is Ali. Straight away, everyone knew that Ali would be broken. Of course, she's already the best brawler in the games anyways. Well, let's just give Ali infinite reload. So the reason why she's completely broken is her unload speed already is just completely nuts. Add on just a completely, like, you have unlimited ammo. Of course, you're going to win pretty much every single 1v1 interaction, especially when you're in the grass as well. So make sure you're using blessed bullets pretty much on every single brawler in this list. And then it's up to you whether you want to use a shield one or one of the other ones, but normally you want to go shield with the assassins. So yeah, there's nothing really to explain about this because she's just completely broken. Just spam non-stop with your unlimited ammo. The next brawler on the list is Sam, and I feel like it's a little bit overrated, but for now it's a really cool mechanic, and the only brawler that can really spam out, I don't know whether it's like a bug. I mean, it's not technically a bug, but it only really gets abused by Sam. So Sam, his angelic skills, you need the 4th angelic skill, which is called Sacred Journey, and then you need the 7th, which is Holy Light. And what this enables you to do, you can just spam your super from a wall and you'll just spawn these little minions which will just go and overwhelm the opponents. This is especially really good on Spirit Wars, but I still get the feeling that maybe people are overrating it a little bit. I've not had enough time to test it out myself, but everyone just seems to think that it's completely broken. So I'm just going to talk about it a little bit here, but especially if you're facing off against the likes of Grom or anyone with Splash, then it just becomes irrelevant, but it can really overwhelm some brawlers like B and etc. who are really good here. So yeah, just thought I'd mention it. It is pretty fun. Next one on the list is Brock, and he's absolutely just running wild in Spirit Wars at the moment, and this is thanks to the Blessed Bullets ability and Divine Protection. These two are some of the best ones, but especially the Unlimited Reload one is just completely broken with a brawler like Brock. It's going to be better on brawlers with a slower reload speed, but the reason why it's just really good on Brock is because of his main attack. His main attack is really good at wall peeking, and if there's certain brawlers like throwers that are just sitting behind walls just spamming you to death like Tick and Grom, well, Brock can open up the walls with his gadget, and then of course he does insane damage. And if you lock onto the Ike, or whatever you want to call it, which you can easily do with Brock outside of it, and you start spamming shots, you're going to gain a lot of shield, which is going to make it really impossible for the opponents to kill you. And then on top of that, Brock's super also ignites his shield as well. So it's just really hard to kill a Brock. Infinite ammo Brock is so scary to push into. Next up on the list, I went with Skeak, and I think this is one of the more underrated ones. I've not seen enough people play Skeak, but just think about it. Skeak has one of the slowest reload speeds inside of the game. You give him infinite ammo, and of course he's going to be really toxic. He's basically impossible to push into. He does have a few weaknesses like Ali and Mortis, but still you're able to spam out a lot and just gain a lot of super through just having unlimited ammo. It's so toxic. Literally, how can you push into this? The only way you can push into this is by a Tick just raining down at an infinite range, but that's a whole nother story. So make sure you're using blessed bullets, and then to be honest, you can switch between a few. Maybe the first one that gives you your super over time, makes you a little bit more toxic, or Divine Protection. You can probably mess with a few others as well, but make sure you have blessed bullets. So now moving on to the next brawler, it is Grom, and he's especially good in Spirit Wars. He was the best brawler in Spirit Wars when this was a thing like a year ago. I don't even know when the Angels event was last time, but he was completely broken in Spirit Wars, and it's because he can attack from really far and still hit the Ike outside of it. You can literally be in the middle of the map and hit the Ike. So of course, with the damage that Grom can provide, you can literally one push so much in Spirit Wars. Everyone knows Grom is good right now, but especially with blessed bullets, you have infinite ammo, and then on top of that, you can use Angelic Agility, which is the first power-up, which gives you your super for free. So you're just raining down on the map. You can literally 1 versus 3 with Grom in Spirit Wars. He's insane. So now moving into probably probably the most broken brawler with this event, and it's been frustrating me getting this gameplay for hours and hours. I've been playing, and it's just constant B. B is completely busted, and probably one of the most broken brawlers I've ever seen in Brawl Stars history with this Blessed Bullets power-up. It's got to get emergency nerfed. It's absolutely bizarre. It reminds me of like Rico and Ruff's mutation, where there's hardly any counterplay to it. So you've guessed it, Blessed Bullets is completely broken, and the better pinging connection you have, the more you can spam this out. You can literally just spam auto aim if you want. That's probably the best way, because you're just infinitely spamming shots. But it's just the fact that you can probably, by the time like a Mortis or even Edgar jumps on you, you can kill them quickly before they can even blink. And that's when you know it's completely broken. So where is the counterplay to this? The only other counterplay really is maybe Tick and maybe some other snipers, but they're just not as good with like into other things as well. Like B is good into everything when she has unlimited ammo, especially tanks. She just destroys them with her big shot. And yeah, you can add on to this probably the third power up, which is Heavenly Smite, which just adds an extra few projectiles because it can just boost your damage even further. But all you need is Blessed Bullets, and you're just going to rip through everything. It's just completely busted. So next up on the list, and probably the most broken brawler for this event, it has to be Tick. So Tick with the unlimited reload ability is just completely and utterly busted. Again, Tick has one of the slowest reload speeds in the game. It's a common theme here. He has one of the best ranges in the game, and he has a very toxic super against some of these assassins. So he's just literally having unlimited supers. Nobody can touch him. His mind's everywhere. It's insane. It just reminds me of other past events where Tick has been broken in the past as well. Yeah, Tick is probably the best brawler here. And if you want it to be extra toxic, you can add on Angelic Agility and just gain unlimited supers. It's just, you cannot defeat a Tick, even if you're like a Mortis or somebody up close. He's just unkillable. So next on the list, I went with Miko, and I'm unsure if he's as good as he should be in theory, to be honest, but still, Miko with unlimited ammo, of course, it's going to be pretty toxic. So just like Ali, you can just keep jumping in. Not as broken as Ali, but of course, Miko with unlimited, he has one of the longest reload speeds inside of the game, so this is going to make him a lot better. But this is specifically in Spirit Wars as well. He's just able to get onto the eye, can deal a lot of damage really quickly, and yeah, he can just, survivability is just insane. It's really hard to kill a Miko, of course, with unlimited ammo and unlimited jumps. So next up on the list, I went with Spike, and again, another underrated one. Spike with unlimited ammo just seems like a really scary prospect. The problem being, it's a little bit on the squishier side, so brawlers like Tick, you will find it pretty hard to face off against them, but the assassins and other brawlers, you're going to have a good matchup, because with Curveball, you have some really good surprising range, and with unlimited ammos. Again, Spike's biggest weakness is his really slow reload speed, so if you give him unlimited ammo, he becomes a very toxic brawler. You can just keep spamming relentlessly, which makes him one of the better brawlers for this event, in my opinion. Again, really underrated, and you don't really need any other angelic. Again, you can kind of mess with a couple of them. I just use Divine Protection because he's pretty squishy, but I think he's so underrated here. So next up on my list, I went with Maisie, and this one might be very surprising to you guys, but hear me out. Maisie with unlimited ammo is just insane. She deals so much damage, and it's more so the fact that you're going to face off against a lot of assassins inside of this event. You're going to be facing off against the Kenjis, Mortis, Ali, Miko, all of these brawlers, and Maisie's one of the best shutdown to those brawlers. Of course she is. She's got a super that can knock them back, a gadget that can stun them, etc. So she's going to be good for that reason. Unlimited ammo as well. She's going to deal out a lot of damage on top of her hyper charge, which is pretty good. I just think that people might be sleeping on Maisie a little bit, but this is more specifically more aggressive at game mode. She's not going to be that good in Spirit Wars, but she's going to be like a really good defender because of the meta around her. I don't know. I played Maisie about 5 or so times and just completely annihilated the enemy team. So surely people are sleeping on Maisie. So next up on the list, I went with Mortis, and Mortis is just done broken with Blessed Bullets ability. Of course he is. He has unlimited ammo, and that's just going to make brawlers where their main attack is movement just that even better. And then you pop his extra reload gadget on top of that, and he can literally fly across the map in like 3-4 seconds. It's insane. And I've kind of been messing around with Mortis's build. You can definitely use Divine Protection. That of course is going to go really hand in hand with Assassins to give you that extra bit of HP. But I secretly like Angelic Agility with Mortis because you can just get a super for free. If you've got some really terrible matchups, well, just getting your super for free quite quickly, to be honest, can really help you in those 1 versus 1 interactions. So mess around with his build, see what you like, but definitely use Blessed Bullets. Next on the list, I went with Mandy. This one's going to be definitely a sleeper one. People aren't even expecting Mandy to be this good in this, but she is, trust me. Of course, one of the best things about her is, again, this unlimited ammo is going to be really toxic, especially at maximum range. You can just be sniping people from across the map, but it's by by far her angelic agility power, which is the first one, which gives you your super for free. You can just keep ramping up the damage, constantly cycling out supers, and literally you could probably hit 2 shots, and then by the time you've hit those 2 shots, you've probably got a super for free, and you can just keep cycling like crazy. And it's the fact that in Spirit Wars you can do 10% to the enemy Ike, and you can easily and safely shoot the Ike from a really far away, literally from across the map. So yeah, she's just really good in that game mode, but she's also good elsewhere as well, so don't sleep on the Mandy. Next on the list, I went with Berry, and I think Berry is completely busted. It's probably in my top 5 in this, and I've not seen anyone run the Berry, so it kind of reminds me of when the new game mode came out. I forgot what it's even called right now, Brawl Arena. Berry was really underrated there, and it's the same in this angelic event, and that's because he's completely busted with unlimited ammo. You think about it, right? You think like Skeak, he has literally zoning with his main attack. It's the same with Berry. His attacks just stay on the ground for I think 5 seconds, whatever. So of course that's just going to completely control the map, and the opponents are basically going to take damage no matter where they go. But by far the best broken thing about him, of course, he's going to get unlimited heals and supers already with blessed bullets, but it's actually, well, you can mess around with either the first one, which is angelic agility, which you're able to gain your super for free, so you're just going to cycle supers even more effectively, or you could even use the second one, which your healing charges your super a lot more effectively. So you can imagine with Berry, you're going to get infinite supers, you're going to get infinite puddles on the map. It's just ice cream everywhere. Who doesn't want that? I love cream. So next up on the list, I went with a Gus. So another underrated one in my opinion. I faced off against a few Gus's, and it's been pretty toxic to play into him. So of course, it's literally blessed bullets, infinite ammo with a Brawler that can basically never miss his main attack. Yeah, it's really hard to push into a Gus, and then on top of that you add on the Heavenly Smite power, which is power number 3, which gives you the extra projectiles, which I think really helps you on those brawlers with longer ranges. It just covers a lot of the map, and it's basically impossible to not get damage onto an opponent, and if someone goes close to you, you can deal a lot of damage. And then on top of that, you have Gus's gadget, his hypercharge, his super. It's really hard to approach Gus, and when you think about the meta, you know, B being one of the best brawlers, Gus is our direct counter to B, so it helps for that reason. But I just think Gus is really slept on as well. So now we're going to be moving on to a couple of brawlers which are going to be good in Soul Collector. I forgot the other game modes, but I will be doing more of a guide on the angelic event in the future if you guys want to see that. But I know 2 brawlers in general in Soul Collector are going to be really strong. So first off, it's going to be Gene. So the reason why Gene is really good in Soul Collectors is because he can pull people towards him and they can collect the soul, which is just like Kill Confirmed if you guys have played Call of Duty. Is wherever the opponent dies, you've got to go over and collect it to gain a point. So if you're pulling them towards you, it's going to be a lot easier to gain those points and get the win. So Gene was always good in Soul Collectors, but he's actually good with this event anyways, because Blessed Bullets gives him infinite ammo. You think of the Modifier, I forgot what it was called, where you can basically get infinite ammo. It just really helps Gene out, and then you can probably pop on like angelic agility to get infinite supers, add on spirit slap on top of that. It becomes very toxic, so he's going to be very good in Soul Collectors. And lastly on the list, I'll go through some other underrated ones as well, but lastly I went with Kenji. So Kenji, of course, having infinite ammo, you've guessed it, he has infinite ways to go around the map, infinite damage, infinite heals because he's got infinite ammo, infinite supers, blah blah. Kenji's really good at in the game, and he's going to be better in Soul Collectors because any brawler with mobility is going to be really good for confirming kills. Probably in Soul Collectors you probably want like a Gene, you probably want like a thrower like Tick or Grom or something like that. Then you probably want someone with mobility like an assassin like Kenji, like Ali or something like that. But yeah, Kenji's really good in Soul Collectors, and with infinite ammo then you can probably again use the Divine Protection or something that gives you free super. So other ones that are pretty underrated, or maybe I've missed one in the comment section below, but I tried like Bonnie again with the Heavenly Smite one that just throws out some projectiles. I really like that one. Infinite ammo as well. I really like Kaze. Already she basically has infinite ammo, but she's also really toxic, just getting your super for free. It's really fun. Jae Young as well, infinite ammo, infinite speed, really good. Doug as well with the healing one. Yeah, he has infinite hot dogs, and it can be some really cheesy strategies in like 5 versus 5. You're basically never going to die with a berry on top of that as well. Draco getting his super for free could be pretty toxic. Meg as well, you know, she's pretty good against those assassins. And lastly, Byron again, a healer is just absolutely insane. If you pop on the infinite ammo and then the healing one or even the free super one, it's just really toxic. So I definitely have missed out on some, but as the meta develops and I find some cheesy strategies, I'll probably do more videos on this. Again, my rank guide guide will be tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a lot from this, and make sure to abuse a lot of these broken ones like Bee, like Tick, like Berry, for example. There's some really disgusting ones out there. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.